Ryan Austin Green, man of my 90210 teenage dreams. So good to see you. What was it like to be the first one out of this nutso show?
Oh, the stress of that. So I feel everybody's been like, God, you were let go after one episode. And I feel like I won the thing. I feel like I showed up, I conquered it. Nobody knew it was me. I sang a song and then I went out on top. Blaze of glory, like out in the, like just part of the gunfight. I just did it and did it well.
Well, look, any 90210 fan knows that David Silver was a DJ, and boy, could he sing and dance. Hey, do you remember this?
Hey, please be my love, yeah.
I do remember that.
Can you still move like that?
I was a kid. Are you crazy? I would severely hurt myself if I moved like that now. So no, I could not move like that. I'm well aware of the fact that I'm 50. I was 17 at that point when the show started. So a lot of time has passed. Bone density, I'm sure, has gone down since then. The cushioning between bones in the spine, you lose those things. I'm sure I've lost height. I've lost hair for sure.
Do you still keep in touch with the old 90210 crew?
I do. I talk to most of them all the time. That's my family. I mean, we spent 10 years working together. So, yeah, we have our disagreements, we have our stuff, but when you spend that kind of time with people, there's no walking away from that. Even if I haven't spoken to somebody for a long period of time, you just sort of pick up where you left off.
It was obviously such a fun time for you, but how great in general were the 90s? Golden decade.
Oh, so good. You know what's funny is I remember when I was younger and my parents would talk about the 60s and the 70s, and I was like, oh, geez, enough. Who cares? I get it. I get it now. When you have that decade that is, the 90s were my childhood. That was the decade for me. I was right in line with the show and what it is we were doing. So the come up of hip hop and music and the culture and the clothing and the hair and all the stuff. It was an amazing decade. The 60s were, the 70s were, the 80s were, and the 90s were. So it's, I'm always curious now to see what happens next, but I don't feel like we've had a decade like that one since. I'm looking forward to seeing what the next run is.
You've had a few tough years, particularly after being diagnosed with colitis, which is an autoimmune disease. What was that time like for you?
I started having these neurological things, and it was just like, for me, just trying to keep a positive attitude through it all of, I'm gonna get through this. I was so affected. I had to do speech therapy, physical therapy. Like, I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, I couldn't read, I couldn't write, I couldn't do anything. I worked really hard for like 4.5 years and came out of it, thank goodness. And so here I am. It's why I'm in the place though now of like saying yes to everything,
And how much did the love of a nice Aussie girl help you heal?
Yeah, Sharna's amazing. She's such a good human being. And coming out of all of that, I really got to a place in life where I was like, I am completely content now with who I am and what I'm doing. And I knew I was on a path. So then to meet somebody that's on a similar path in life is just amazing. And she's amazing.
He was such a sweet guy, and I feel like we're practically family because Sharna Burgess did work at Channel 10. She was one of the judges on Dancing with the Stars, but he was just heaven. Loved him. Did you run into him at the Masked Singer? Or?
All right.
Here we go.
You know I'm contractually not allowed to talk about that.
There we go.
What a scoop
Do
that
you
is.
agree with the 90s bit? 90s is the best. There hasn't been
I
a
love the
decade
90s.
since.
Best.
Yeah.
Look, the 90s were great for everything. The fashion, the hyper-colour T-shirts. Come on.
Tamagotchis.
The Masked Singer returns Monday night at
Tamagotchis.
7:30.